this woman we covered years ago, and I didn't know what it is that she did to get in her position as a VP over there, working with Marvel, but doesn't matter. That's what she is. And she was, if people don't remember, she's the idiot that was like, why the X-Men called the X-Men, because they have all of these women. It's the same chick that her and Kevin Feige were, of course, among of the big dogs that were expressing that really they were all in on this diversity. This was back years ago. Diversity, representation, inclusion, and all this other dumb shit. And that would be Victoria Alonso. Now, as my man John F. Trent documented, there was some glad. It seems to, in recent days, been so many award shows that I just don't give a shit about. But I appreciate the people that do cover it and keep their pulse on it. They are important. Make no mistake. But she said at these GLAAD Media Awards, and that's the gay shit, right? Yeah, that's what that is. And Deadline is reporting here that when she accepted some GLAAD award, she stated, if you are a member of the LGBTQIA community and you work at Walt Disney Company, the last 2 or 3 weeks have been a sad event. I've asked Mr. Chapek for courage in a 45-minute sit-down. And when she says that it's been a sad event, it means that y'all were told to be mad at some shit. That's it. I asked him to look around and truly, if what we sell is entertainment for the family, we don't choose what family. Family is the entire room. Family is family in Texas and Arizona and Florida and in my family in my home. And she talks about this 45-minute conversation with Chapek. She says, so I ask you again, Mr. Chapek, please respond. Please respect. If we're selling family, take a stand against all these crazy outdated laws. Take a stand for family. And again, it's just bizarre that you try to word it in such a way that this has anything to do with family, when really it's, just to be honest with it, you just want a bunch of gay shit in the media. And I'm not like saying that as an insult. I'm just going by what it is that they've committed to. And even the CEO had to, what Chapek comes out after the fact, and he's like, oh, well, I'm sorry I didn't speak on this early enough. I'm trying to influence these laws. And they just were basically told to be against this. This is what the authoritarian left told them to do. And so they're against something that, again, it's just, you look at this bill that nobody's fucking read, and it doesn't specify regarding like homosexuality or anything. So it just as much as it applies to some gay shit, it applies to some straight shit. So the fact that they have taken it upon themselves that it only targets them, to me, tells on themselves as what it is they were attempting to do through the public education system, and what they had been doing through the public education system, that they find that as such a threat. Because again, the straight folk don't seem to find it as a threat, but these gay folk find it as a threat, even though it both applies to you, because it doesn't specify regarding sexuality specifically through these ages of K through 3rd grade. So the fact that, again, they word it in this way, like, and this is what these mainstream types do, is that they make up a narrative. It's textbook gaslighting, really, and they act like it's something that it's not, and they expect you to basically, you're the crazy one because you like, wait a minute, I've read this shit. This isn't anything regarding what it says. What are you doing? And then they try to pin it on something else, like, well, it's about this positive thing that everybody values as family. And like, no, it's not. It's about y'all wanting to use y'all's media to do gay shit. And I wish y'all just say that. Like, just say it. Like, I mean, and you, to be fair, you have acknowledged that that's what it is, but stop being chicken crap and going to pin it on something else like that's what you care about. No, that's not what you care about. You don't care about that at all. You just want your social political views to be, let's say, your medium or what you control in entertainment, to be projecting that. That's it. Hell, y'all admitted through all that reimagined Disney, all those videos that we covered. Like, that's all it is. Stop saying that you tolerate us, she continues to say. Nobody tolerates me. Is she gay? I didn't know Victoria. Well, then again, look at her. I mean, it's fucking, maybe she, look, I don't know if she's gay, but I would need to hear it in context as far as what she's referring to, of like what she's saying tolerates me. Like, I'm like, are you of the LGBTQ plus IA? And I can see that. You tolerate the heat in Florida, the humidity in Arizona or Florida, the dryness in Arizona and Texas, and you tolerate a tantrum in a 2-year-old, but you don't tolerate us. We deserve the right to live, love, and have. I don't know if anybody that is trying to stop you from living. See, the fact that people find that as a threat, and you've seen these when someone is like, okay, I don't necessarily agree with this lifestyle, they then take that as a means to mean that you hate them or you want them dead. Like, the fact that they conflate those two issues is very dishonest. Very dishonest. And she says, more importantly, we deserve an origin story. After pointing out a member of the audience named Max, Alonso then declared, I encourage all of you to stop being silent. Silence is death. Silence is poison. But if you don't stand up, if you don't fight, if you don't give your money, and if you don't vote, then give your money, yeah, of course, like, hey, line our pockets up, then all we can do is have a party and be gay. And like I said, I just wish they would be straight up and just say that that's what y'all are trying to do. You just you are so obsessed with your sexuality that you want that to be indicative. And remember, we've talked about before these different various polls, and this is shown so many times when you see those man on the street videos and you have someone ask just a bunch of people random questions and they just completely missed the mark. And, you know, we covered that. That was the video that got released today. That was on Monday, the 4th, from a show last week, but it got released through a segment on the 4th, talking about how so many people overestimate demographics, where they think like on the upward of 20% of people are like gay, lesbian, or something like that. And it's like not even close to that. Like, you're so severely overestimate. Actually, I think that wasn't the right. I think that was maybe like for transgendered folk or something. And then like when they only represent 1% of the fucking population, actually less than in some cases in America. So it's like they have no idea what it is that they are, what the world actually looks like. So even when they peddle this representation nonsense, what they want is an over-representation, and they just look at media as a way to validate their existence. And look, I, if nothing else, appreciate that they're telling on themselves more than they had in the past, and we can actually see that and then act accordingly. You can just act accordingly, because I don't think even people that, let's say, an actual bisexual person that is rational gives a fuck about being hyper-emphasized. You know what I mean? At least that's what I fucking picked up. Now, irrational, brainless leftists, I can't fucking speak for them. They, of course, want to be legitimized, and they want everything to be gay or what it looks like. So this is why when you look like, damn, like all these tokenizations that we've seen in the sexuality sense in like the Marvels and the DCs, like what the hell is going on? Well, this is just what you get. And they will gaslight you. You have to remember, they'll have you thinking, not me necessarily, but they'll have you thinking that you're the crazy person as they do something that don't even make sense. And then they claim, like, this is how they always do. It's like, oh, well, they're doing it for the greater good, right? They're the good people here. They like to think of themselves as the morally good people, when really all they are is sexist shit. But they lay the game plan out there. They're like, hey, fund me. By me, they mean them. And don't talk. So you're going to see this ramped up. Disney has already made an oath. They get 50% that they're going to be having, and as far as the makeup of the content that they're producing out in the future, 50% that are of the underrepresented population. I don't know what to tell you, man. Other than they're telling you the game plan. Stop giving them your enthusiasm and stop giving them your perceived legitimacy and stop giving them your fucking money. And let's create some alternatives and they can have it. I'm sorry, your beloved franchises are controlled by this company and they're going to run the bitch into the ground. That's fine. We'll create new versions of original content and let them turn all that shit gay if that's what it is they want. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member
and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.